Hey everyone, this is Steve from Average Joe's Fantasy Football, and I've got your Week 1 start and sit for the quarterback position. I'm not going to go into detail of every single game that's going on. I'm going to pick out 3 I believe are some great starts for you this week, 3 sits, and then some sleepers. I am not going to be very, putting quarterbacks like Kyler Murray or Patrick Mahomes. We're going to keep that very simple. Those are quarterbacks you absolutely starting every single week. These are going to be guys that maybe on the fringe you're not sure of, and you're not really sure if you should sit them or start them. So again, very simple, kind of to the point. If you guys do have questions, obviously follow us on Instagram or Twitter. You can ask us in our DMs. You can always hit us up in the comments down below as well if you're unsure of who to start or sit. If you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you guys get notified every time we drop a video just like this. We are here for Week 1. I am super excited. Hope you guys are excited as I am for football to start. So we're going to start with the start position. So for quarterbacks, the first person I actually have as a starter is going to be Kirk Cousins for the obviously Minnesota Vikings going against the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, the reason why I picked Kirk Cousins is not only does he have some great wide receiver weapons on the outside, he's got Dalvin Cook behind him to help out a lot. So with that said, Bengals have given up the 25th most yards last year on defense, and they were 18th against the pass, and they allowed about 24 points to fantasy quarterbacks. That's a big deal right there. The Bengals aren't known for their defense, and obviously this is all based off of last year's results, but a lot of that kind of tells you how things might look into Week 1. Week 1's always the toughest. You're not really sure how teams are going to be going into the new season, how their new offensive schemes are, defensive schemes, but this is going to be a great start. The next guy I have is Joe Burrow. Same game. Joe Burrow coming back from injury. I think he's got a lot to prove. He might be a little rusty coming out of it, but he might be amazing. He's got 3 great receivers on the outside. He's got Joe Mixon behind him. The offensive line is the only thing I'm a little worried about, but I believe they're going to put up a lot of points in this game between the Bengals and the Vikings. Again, Vikings aren't a great defense. The Vikings gave up the 26th most yards last year in defense, 24th against the pass, and they averaged 22 points for quarterbacks against them. So that's a big deal. So I like Joe Burrow a lot this week. The next guy I want to talk about as far as a good start option is going to be Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford is in a new, obviously, offense, new team, new weapons, but he's got a lot of great weapons. He's going against the Chicago Bears. Yeah, the Bears were a better defensive team that you're going to see previous to like the Vikings or the Bengals. But the Bears defense, even though they were 11th against the, overall in pass, or defense, they were 12th against the pass. They did allow about 20 points to the quarterback position. But if you look at the last 2 starts that Matthew Stafford had against them as a Lion without all the weapons that he has now, he actually averaged the most points. He was averaging about 30 points against the Chicago Bears. Very eye-opening. He knows the Bears very well. This is not a game I would be sitting him at all. Now we're going to jump to the sits. Now these are going to be some that might, pretty obvious, or some, not really sure. So the first guy I have is Ryan Fitzpatrick, not because I'm a Cowboys fan, but I believe being in a new offense, he is going to be, doing a pretty good job. I think he's going to be successful this season. I hate to say it, but they're going against the Chargers. The Chargers are the 10th overall defense last year. They also finished 9th against the pass, and they did average, unfortunately, 23 points to the quarterback, and a lot of it had to do with the rushing side. But 9th against the pass makes it a very challenging option, and right now the Chargers might be ahead where they can't, really come back from. And hopefully Ryan Fitzpatrick has a better game, but I would not start him this week. The next guy I have sitting is going to be Ben Roethlisberger. Big Ben, obviously age is starting to show. He does have some good weapons on the outside with Deontay. You've got Chase Claypool, Juju. Najee Harris is the guy I'm looking to really look at in this game, especially since I have him in a couple of my leagues. But the Bills are actually a pretty good defense. Right now they were 14th overall last year as a defensive team. Overall, they were 14th against the pass. Again, very average, but they were a better team. They did allow 22 points to the quarterback, but Ben Roethlisberger, unless they were really, really behind, was average at best, right? He was averaging about 20 points or so. So I don't like Ben Roethlisberger against this one. I do think it's going to be a shootout eventually, just because that offense for the Buffalo Bills are going to be amazing, and Ben will have to be throwing. But with his retirement of the center, Pouncey gone, the offensive line's not the same. I'm a little worried about him being standing upright since he can't move like he used to. Last guy I have as far as a sit goes is going to be Jared Goff. Jared Goff's obviously in a new team, but he's on a team that doesn't have the same weapons that he did in LA. The Lions obviously lost both their starting receivers. They've got a rookie receivers coming in and playing. They really only have Hawkinson. Swift is a good option in the backfield, but he's been dealing with a groin injury. So there's a lot of scary things going for Jared Goff right now, and they're going against the 49ers. The The 49ers were the 5th best defense of last year. They were 4th against the pass, and they only allowed 20 points to quarterbacks. So Jared Goff is not somebody I would start at all this week. He may not even be someone I would even consider starting at all this season, depending on how the growth of those receivers are and obviously the rapport that he has with them. Now, some sleepers I have going into this is I've got Trevor Lawrence against the Texans. Fortunately, the Texans are a really, really poor defense. And I like Trevor Lawrence's offensive weapons for him. I think he's going to actually show off really well. And they're at, again, the rookies tend to do pretty well the first game or two. Next guy I have is Baker Mayfield, another guy I have highly ranked actually going into the season as a quarterback for fantasy. I think a lot of people are sleeping on. They're going against the Chiefs. The reason why I have the Chiefs don't have a great defense. They're pretty good, but I think it's going to be a shootout. And I think people are underrating the Browns this year. And this is actually a huge game for the Browns to kind of prove if they could be some of the elite teams going into this season. And the last guy I have is Jalen Hurts. Look, Jalen Hurts right now, he's got okay weapons. I think Devonta Smith's going to be one that a lot of people are looking for. I like Goddard. He still has Ertz there. Miles Sanders. So he's got some good weapons around him. But what's going to make him be a sleeper this week is not only the team they're going against, but also the fact that he can still run the ball. He's going to get probably 50 to 60 rushing yards, maybe a touchdown, maybe 2. And I think he'll at least pass for 1 or 2 more touchdowns. So I think he'll actually end up finishing about 24 to 25 fantasy points, which is a great option for you guys this week if you don't know who to start. So those are my start sits for you guys in the quarterback position. I'm going to be dropping a running back, wide receiver, tight end, all those great videos for you guys. That way you guys are prepared for this week 1. Remember, there is a game Thursday, of course, and there will be 2 Monday night games. So be prepared for that, and make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel so you guys get notified every time I drop a video like this. Again, if you have questions, hit us up on our socials. Hit us down below in the comments if you're unsure who to start, and we'll be able to help you guys out. And I'll check you guys next time.